Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, people. Good morning, WYTAYBA. Hanging on by our fingernails, our tips. How are you today? This is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. It is 6:01 in the morning here in Western Nevada. And let's see. Here we are at G.school. G.school, the weather's getting warm. And this is one of our classic shirts. No, our tie-dye artist shirts. These things are extremely high quality, made with the best chemicals, best process, soda ash, not dry ice dripping through, the real deal, double washing, millions of things. So good morning, Matt, reporting for duty. Burk. Okay. And WYTAYBA, how was your day yesterday at work? Before we get into G.school for today. Well, I had a great dinner last night with former Commissioner Leo Blundo. Good, wonderful, wonderful. Did you get any sales? Did you sell anything? Best day of my life? What? The best day of your life? Wow. Nice. Best day of my life. Nice. Okay. Oh, that's good. Must be regarding dinner. Yes, 6. Wow. Good for you. Good for you. So getting perfect scores on the elementary school national exam helped. Terrific. Good job. 6 sales. And the average per person is probably 1, maybe less than 1. You got 6. All right. Well, and guess what? That's not going to be your best day. But my unsolicited advice is don't chase yesterday. Don't chase. I got 6 yesterday. Got to beat it. No, just keep focused, one person at a time, one pizza at a time. Every pizza is going to be the best pizza. Every customer is going to be the best customer. They're not just pieces on a checkers board to be moved. So, good for you. How are you, Matt? How are things out there? How are things out there? Okay, well, this is G.school. G.school, and G.school is the spiritual part of our program. So Monday through Friday, we focus on physical, mental, and emotional things. Saturday and Sunday, we focus on the spiritual. Why? Because it's the most important thing. We used to say it's the thing that picks you up when you get knocked down, and you will get knocked down. We used to take sort of an AANA approach of what is your higher power type of thing. What is your higher power? This headrest is now kind of cattywampus. Okay, so what is your higher power? Whatever it could be. Could be memory of your dead grandmother. Who knows? But now, over the last couple years, we have shifted that to Christianity. And when I say Christianity, I literally mean Christianity. I don't mean Paul-ianity. I don't mean New Testament, I don't mean Old Testament. And now that I'm taking my class in Christology, I get very clearly why the Old Testament and the New Testament, other than the Gospels, are important, but unnecessary. And our focus is the necessary stuff. And I think that every person who claims to be a Christian would say without the Gospels you don't have Christianity. You can't do it with the Old Testament and the New Testament lacking the gospel, the four gospels. Take those out, you don't have Christianity. I think every pastor, let's not say every person, because we've got people with a lot of crazy views, but anybody who's a bona fide pastor would say, you take the gospels out, you're not a Christian. Okay, so we focus on that. Again, this is not designed for people who are saved. This is not designed for people who are successful, because if you're successful, you already have the answers. If you're saved, you don't need to worry about anything else. This is for people who are pre-Christians. They're not yet believers, and all people who are interested. But if you think you have the answers, mazel tov, mazel mazel, this is not for you. Okay? But just keep this bookmark somewhere, because when you find out that what you think is correct is not correct, well, you might want to come back and give this a shot. All right. So today, WYTAYBA, what you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. WYTAYBA. All righty then. So, but let's do a little mental exercise first. And this is, I think, very important for everyone. I think this is the thing you really get. You really, really get it. You really, 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 really get it. You really get this next thing. You put it out there in front of you, and you use this as one of those Jordan Peterson, that's a North Star type of thing for me. It's not quite the North Star, but it's near the North Star. So it's always around there somewhere. It's not necessarily straight up, but I can find it and go to that. And that is to get an idea of the universe, the age of the universe. We're going to take the position that the people who are scientists are right to the best of our ability to know right now. And we're just going to focus on cosmology for a second. And we're going to say, let's assume that the really smart people who spent years, decades of their life trying to answer basic cosmological questions, let's assume that they're right. Let's assume they know more than we know, us lay people, the people who we haven't studied it for 1 hour in depth, but we know more than the people who've spent 20, 30, 40 years, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, a month, a week. We know more than those people. Let's not assume that. Let's assume they are right. And let's just assume, for simple numbers, the universe as we know it is 13.8 billion years old. Okay? Well, how big is 13.8 billion years? So we're going to take that time and we're going to convert it to distance. We're going to convert 13.8 billion years to distance. Okay? So let's assume 3 feet. Let's assume 3 feet is 1 million years. And let's assume we walk exactly 3 feet. So every step we take when we're on a walk, walking down a flat road, every step is 36 inches. It's 3 feet. Okay? And let's assume every step we take, we're traveling 1 million years. So how many steps do we have to take to travel 13.8 billion years if every step is 1 million years? So what we do is we take 13.8 billion and divide it by 1 million. So the simple way to do that is to have your 13.8 billion and your 1 million, and you cross off the zeros. So you take 6 zeros off of 1 million and you're left with 1. You take the 6 zeros off 13.8 billion and you're left with 13,800. Okay, just by removing the zeros. So 13.8 billion, 13,800 steps is what you take. Now we've got to convert that to distance, because 13,800 steps is how far. Right. Well, one simple way to do it is to divide it, to take a mile and divide it by 3. Okay, but that gets a little bit complicated for people. So you might take the 13,800, multiply it by 3. So now you get it into feet. And then you divide that feet by the number of feet in a mile. All right. But I want to get a number here because I'm doing a fact check. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. Oops. So a simple way to, let's go back. So you've got 13,800 steps. Each step is 3 feet. So you could divide 13,800 by the number of yards in a mile, and that gives you the answer. So that's 1760. 1,760. So it's almost 1776, but it's 1760. So if you said 1760, 1,760 yards in a mile, means you have to walk 7.84 miles. If every step is a million years, it's going to take you, it's going to be 7.84 miles down the road, which is about a 2-hour walk. So if you're walking down a flat road for about 2 hours, you will walk the equivalent of 13.8 billion years. If every step is a million years, that's a pretty good walk. Most people that I know, most people in our program would have a hard time walking 7.84 miles in 2 hours. They couldn't do it. Okay, but that's how far it is now. So the age of the universe is like walking 2 hours. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You take that one yard, that million years, and you divide it by 100, like the average lifespan. So if you live to be 100 years, what amount of time is 100 years over a million? So what do we do? Okay, you can drop the 2 zeros. So 1 million divided by 100 is the same as 10,000 to 1. It's 1/10,000. 100 over a million is the same as, right, correct, is the same as 1 over 10,000. So what is 1/10,000th of a yard? You could say, my camera, focus on me, camera. Looks like my camera's blurry. I went blurry for some reason. Can't focus on me. Okay, I think it's back. So, right. Me plus Sophia equals dynamic duo. Correct. Good one, Matt. Okay, so that distance, 1/10,000th of a yard, is about the thickness of a hair on your head. And then to finish, you just had to go the thickness of a hair. That is us compared to the universe. That is our life compared to the universe. And so you can say, why would God create a universe that was 7, and my part in it is the width of a hair? And you could say, well, okay, humans 7,000 years, but let's just go the Christian approach. Let's just say 5,000 years ago, Adam was created. So 5,000 over a million. Again, you drop the 3 zeros. So it's 5 over 1,000. Very, very small number. Okay, so that's 200. 1/200th of a yard. So that's like an inch or two. No, less than that. It's less than an inch. 1/200th of a yard. You take your yard and you divide it by 200. So according to the Bible, we've been alive, that long. Let's give it a big number. That long compared to a 7.84-mile walk. It makes no sense. A typical Christian is going to say, well, God's time. We don't understand God's time. Okay, so what you're basically saying is it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but God knows. Not really a good explanation. I think we got to come down to the idea of we might not know what God does, but when we do know, it does make sense. And it doesn't make sense to say the universe was created for man. Man is the center of the universe. It was created for man, but 7.84 million years have to go by for that to happen. Right? And that's not what Genesis says. Anyway, in just a simple reading of Genesis, it doesn't say that. Now you can say, what about this and what about that? But it doesn't work. So a mental exercise to know, to keep in mind, keep at the forefront of your memory is the universe has been around for 7.84 miles. My lifespan, if I get to be 100 years old, is the width of a hair on my head. Okay, now, not in this one because we're at almost 17 minutes, but in another video, we're going to talk about how we can kind of flip that around and say, this width of this one hair, that's just my existence here. I can participate in that the next 13.8 billion years. Just to show, our life is this. Our life is that. That's our life. This is life. This 7.84 miles, that's life. This is our life. That's existence. This is our existence. That's a better way to say it. This is existence. This 7.84 miles, that's existence. This is my existence in that universe. And if we are truly Christians, we're going to get that when Jesus says, if you follow my commandments, you can be one with the Father and me. So what does that imply? When you die, your life is not over. You get to go outside of this universe where God and Jesus are, the creators are. You get to go outside of that and get to participate in this whole thing. That's where we're going to go. But let's just kind of lock down right now just this clear thing. So somebody I was with yesterday, I said, how old is the universe? I said, I don't think it's that old, just 200 or 300 billion years. So can you imagine if 13 billion years is 7.84 miles? And they say, no, not very old, 200 or 300 billion years. You're taking 20 times that amount of time. It's a 140-mile walk. No. So that's a thing to just know. The universe has existed for about a 7.84-mile walk, and my existence is at the width of a hair. There's got to be a connection between these two. It's not that they're just independent things. I think there's a unifying factor in that, and that would be found in the Gospels. In Jesus' word, if you follow my commandments, you will be one with the Father and me. Okay, so anyway, that's it for today. Choich Day. This is the day for a big deal at Trinity at 9 o'clock. Zippy talking today about his life, need for evangelization, public outreach. Unfortunately, I did the morning part yesterday, but when it was time to break, I had to get to a 12 o'clock luncheon, which was very good luncheon. Got recognized at that luncheon. More on that later. Got recognized at that luncheon. It was a good positive thing, helpful for our new women's Christian home. Good conversation with Dr. Linden, strategy moving forward. And then a great dinner with Leo at the steakhouse, where I have leftovers. Probably one of the first times in my life I've had leftovers. I was just invited to Trinity today. No. Well, Matt, you're your own person. You can go to Trinity. You're going to be, it's a lot more different than Reset. So what's going on here is people are trying to bring you in, saying we're gonna do this with you, Matt. We're gonna help you, and you can go with the flow. You can see how long they're going to continue to do this. You're not. I think it's a bad idea. If I thought it was a good idea, I would have asked you to go and suggested you go before. You're your own man. You're probably going to go just because you want to fit in and they've invited you, which is kind of a strategy I have. If somebody's going to invite me to something, I will go. But these are people who have their own motivation. Whoever invited you has their own motivation. They don't really know you. You're going to draw attention in a not positive way. People are going to talk about you in a not positive way. I don't see any good coming of it, but if you feel you need to touch the hot stove, I would do more of a Jordan Peterson approach, which is you work into something. You just don't go to one of the, so Pastor Tony doesn't know you. He's just inviting you because they're doing outreach and they want everybody to go. I think if he knew you, he would say, I don't think this is the best thing for you to be in a crowded room of people. And you're going to be expected to sit still through the whole thing, participate. I think I know you better than anyone in the close in 100-mile radius. And I would say my suggestion for you is I don't think you have anything to gain. They have to gain by you going. I don't think you have anything to gain. But let me know. I go to the 10:30. There, I go to Faith Fellowship at 9. Go to the other one. So, Matt, my knowing you would say you're not going to feel good about it. They're not going to feel good about you. They're not going to invite you back. You remember Calvary Church when you were there and you're walking around outside pacing, and then people were, who's this stalker? Who's this guy walking around, pacing around the building? He didn't invite you for bad reasons. He doesn't know you. He's just trying to get people to go. And he probably wants you to feel included. He has good intentions, but this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. So up to you, your choice, supportive of whatever you decide to do, but I don't see it. And I don't think Dr. Linden or anybody would say, yeah, you should just jump right into the... Okay. Anyway, so we're way over. We've broken a new record. I apologize for that, everyone. I've got to get on the Peloton and doing sheets today. So that's it. Hope all is well. WYTAYBA, what is your schedule? Peace, love. Okay.